They kept their numbers. Oh, good day. How are you doing? Oh, thanks, sir. Yeah, what are we just going to do? Really cool chill zone. Yeah. Use hashtag SB Schools Fest. That's schools plural. SB Schools Fest. They could be direct messaging you back and dishing out some really cool prizes. Another thing we need to remind you about today is that we are continuing our third day of the Boots and Balls initiative. So is this the number that they were in today? It's bringing in all the rugby balls, rugby boots, all the rugby kits and donating them. It's going to go to the development programs in Pretoria, where they'll be put to really good use. Also want to say a big thank you to Silsi for rolling out the free Wi-Fi here. That's seated in the main grandstand with most tours. There's literally Wi-Fi networks available. You'll find the Silsi free Wi-Fi. Log on free of charge. No passwords. So Drostdy will have the same jersey. Don't forget that all these games are being streamed live. So if you have friends and family anywhere in the world who have FOMO, they can't be here, then they catch live streaming simply by going to the Kearsney College website. So, next game underway. It's going to be a cricket showdown between two enterprising teams. Pretoria Boys High School up against Drostdy from Kearsney. Well, a very warm welcome to Kearsney College for the third and final day of the 2017 Standard Bank Easter Schools Rugby Festival. We're in for another cracking day of rugby with some really good fixtures lined up. Today we start with Hartier S. Drostdy taking on Pretoria Boys High School, along with Jono Dayton. Jono, we saw some great games on Saturday, expecting a little bit more today.
Yeah, look, definitely. The boys had a bit of a rest. So they're looking good, looking fit and looking ready for this last day of games. Hopefully they can come out, perform at the highest pinnacle of order and just give us a great show of rugby today.
One of the standout games from the second day was the Dale College match. It was an unbelievable spectacle. Went right down to the wire. Hartier Drostdy coming away with a 1-point win. That must have been the highlights of Saturday.
No, I can definitely agree with you there, Nick. Nail-biting stuff there from both sides, and 25 unanswered points by Dale just until the last minute, and then Drostdy just coming back for the win there, so great stuff.
There have been some standout players for Drostdy. I'd say Cohen Jasper, number 15, has really played well, has given them a lot of go-forward ball, and he's really lightened up the field. Guys like Sean Baxter too, just been a calm general at 10, but their captain Romeo Extian, beg your pardon, has also been really influential for them. He ended up on the wing on Saturday, but they just couldn't keep the ball away from him. Got them some good go-forward ball and marshalled his troops really well. From the Pretoria boys' side, Tane Rivers, their fly half, was really good on the first day. However, he picked up a bit of an injury, so we're not entirely sure whether he'll be playing today. He was substituted by George Coloros, who kicked unbelievably well from hand and managed to give them a chance, although they did go down 58 points to 5 to a rampant Selborne College. What do you think Pretoria boys have to do today? They would have been able to see the Drostdy boys play. How do you think they can counter them?
No, look, I think they really want to just improve on their performance from Saturday. I think look, the Drostdy is always going to be quite a physical presence, and they're going to be running it at you and making sure that you are honest in your defense. So I think for them just to, keep the ball in the space, play hard, try to play around them a little bit, and keep that ball moving is definitely something that they'll be looking to do.
Drostdy proved that you got to play for the full 60 minutes here as they managed to score that final second try against Dale after they had conceded 25 points. It was an unbelievable effort from them to get over the line there. When the momentum was completely with Dale, they managed to score right on the final whistle just to prove that their side that you can never count against. As they come onto the field in what looks like a Welsh-looking kit, to be honest. It looks like they could have taken that one straight from Cardiff.
Yeah, definitely. All red, coming white pants. So coming out strong. And followed out by the opposition.
A lot of these players will be quite sore. It's been a long week for them. They'll be quite sore and really hoping that they can put in one good, solid performance just to get themselves a bit of momentum going into the school season when they get back home. Drostdy really have a tough season. They play a lot of big schools down in the Western Cape. Pretoria boys too. They also have big fixtures against the likes of Affies up in Pretoria. So if they can get a bit of momentum here going into their season, they'll be really happy. Pretoria boys playing from right to left in their green, red and white hoops, with Hartius Drostdy playing into the breeze from left to right in this first half. Tane Rivers looks like he is fit and he will be starting for them in the number 10 jersey with that red headgear. He'll be taking the kickoff and they're going to be playing from right to left. They're going to want to use this advantage with the wind in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite a strong breeze coming across this field. So with the wind at your back, got to exploit it while it's there and try pin the opposition in their half and play rugby where you want to play.
And we're underway here, the final day of the 2017 Standerbank Kearsney Easter Rugby Festival. Tane Rivers goes deep into the 22 of Hartius Drostdy, who make a couple passes, but there's a good tackle inside their own 22. They're going to want a good exit play here. Ball back to Baxter. Baxter with a relieving kick taking play just short of the 10-meter line. Good start there from Pretoria boys.
Yeah, Nick, you can definitely see that wind coming into play, the ball being held up there, and not quite getting the full extent of that kick. Feeling a bit short-changed, but definitely done well, good exit, and let's see where they can go from here.
Apparently it's been tapped, so the line-out's actually going to go the way of Hartius Drostdy, so they got a little bit of a little victory early on in this one. They're going to feed the first line-out. The Stefan Schwartz, the number 16, is going to feed the line-out for Hartius Drostdy. They got one man out of the line-out. Bit of a breeze, go to the front, good take. Good take in the front of the line-out by Kloppers, who gets a bit of go forward up over the 10-meter line. Xtian looking for the ball. Got a couple runners coming off him. Pick and go. Good drive up towards the halfway line. Xtian. Dummy runners aplenty. Back to Baxter. Baxter on the switch ball to LaRue. LaRue taken just short of halfway. Xtian again. Baxter. Baxter with the show and go. Finds a half gap. The ball hasn't been adjudged to have gone forward, so they carry on. Keanu Mong takes the ball up to the 22. Inside to Jasper. Jasper taken on the 22. Gilias is on in the jersey 21. Short ball off to Kloppers. Kloppers with a good run into the 22. Gilias again to Baxter. Baxter looks like he's got a man over here. Brilliant pass. An ankle tap. Takes him just short of the line. Poseidonhout has taken just short of the line. Drostdy on the attack. Deep inside the 22 of Pretoria boys. Baxter. Cut out pass to Jasper. Jasper taken on the 5-meter line. Pick and go from number 21. Elias. He's also scragged. He's just short of the line here. Drostdy with all the momentum in the early stages here as they pick and go once again. Just short of the line. The referee's right on the spot. The pick and go from Monis. He's also short. Another pick and go. The ref's right there. The big men trying to get them over the line here. Oh, it looks like it might have been turned over. Pretoria boys have got their hands on it and they've got the advantage. Lemon. Penalty. Penalty. Hands in the ruck is a decision from the referee. Really good early play from Hartius Drostdy.
Definitely there, Nick. What a absolute show of intent there by the Drostdy boys. Great pace to start this game off, but kudos need to go to the PBHS buggers for just really knuckling down right on their try line there and showing a great show of defense to keep the Drostdy boys out.
The clearance kick from Rivers takes a play just up short of the 22-meter line. They got the feed to the line out. Good take off the top. It's a loose pass. Unfortunately for the skipper, Pretoria, he can't take it cleanly. So they're back on the back foot once again. A knock on in their own 22. Drostdy with a good opportunity here from the first scrum of the day.
That's not the outcome PBHS would have liked, but hopefully they can knuckle down, get that defense working for them again, and regain the ball and get out of their own 22.
First scrum of the day here. Put into Hotiest Drostdy. About 5 or 6 meters inside the Pretoria boys 22. Got a bit of a blind side to work with here. Standing short off the scrum is the number 12, Berto LaRue. The pick and go off the back. Oh, the pass to Elias isn't a good one, but he's managed to sweep it up, and the ball's gone backwards according to the referee, so Drostdy have the ball once again. Another pick and go. We've seen a lot of those in the early stages of this one. Elias goes to the left. Gives it off to Bronley Morris. Bronley Morris with a great run from the number 4. He's managed to get over the line for the first score. Bronley Morris. He's been influential for them. Carried well in the first 2 games. Played Craven Week last year for Boyland. Unbelievable score from the second rower.
Yeah, definitely. Weighing in at 114 kgs, he's definitely going to be a great running option for them, and he just proved his worth there. Crashing through that PBHS defense, and with the long stretch, scoring a try there for those buggers.
Could be a long day for Pretoria boys if they can't hold on to their first phase ball, unfortunately for them. Drostdy just flexing their muscles nice and early, getting that first crucial score. Cohen Jasper to line up the conversion attempt from the left-hand side of the field. This is a nice angle to start with. This is what all right footers quite enjoy. That angle coming across the post, but hoping to get a bit of a draw. And he's kicked well too, has Cohen Jasper. Keeps it low into the wind. That's a great strike. Brilliant strike, keeping it low, kicking into the wind there. It's a good strike, good way for them to start.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll take a lot of confidence from that kick. Really doing everything he needed to do there perfectly, keeping it clinical and coming away with that extra 2. 7-0, 24 minutes done.
So Rivers is going to get us back underway here for Pretoria Boys High School. Gives it a nice hanging kick. Drops just short of the try scorer. Morris gets up well and takes it just outside his own 22. Down the short side, Elias with a snipe, but he's tackled well. Ball a little bit scrappy on the ground. Referee has adjudged that there were hands in the ruck from Pretoria Boys, so another mistake. They were in the half of Drostdy. They would really have liked to put some early pressure on them, but they've gone and given away a penalty, and the clearance kick can take play up towards the halfway line again for Hotiest Drostdy. That'll be a little bit of a killer blow for Pretoria Boys.
Yeah, definitely there, Nick. I think just discipline, especially in the opposition half. You've just conceded the 7. You've got to stay here. You've got to try put pressure back on them, and small things like that are just going to let the side a bit down. But hopefully pick up their heads and get back in it.
Drostdy with the feed, goes to the middle of the line. Out a bit scrappy, but they've managed to pick it up again. Elias, Baxter, bit of a pass on his shoulder. Maurice carries once again, but he's tackled beautifully in the middle of the field. And he's driven backwards, but he's managed to get the pass away so they can set it up again on their own 10-meter line. It's a good counter shove from PBHS, but another penalty. They've gone and given away another penalty, getting a little bit overzealous maybe at the breakdown, trying to win that ball on the ground.
It's nice to see them putting pressure there, trying to win ball back, and making sure that Drostdy are honest, keeping them honest there at their own breakdowns. But unfortunately, as you say, a little bit overzealous and just giving away the 3 points there. But the ball has not been kicked out.
Brilliant skill there from Pretoria Boys to keep that ball in play. Short ball from Pretoria Boys, crashing it up towards the 10-meter line. Lamon wants Rivers, narrow attacking here. Not a lot of space. All players out wide. Rivers with the wraparound, but he's been taken and dropped the ball. So it's a chance for Drostdy to get onto the front foot once again, just outside the 22 of Pretoria Boys High School. The ball's up in the air. The ref's called a maul now, so Drostdy need to use it. The ball's gone to ground. It's there for Elias. Gives a short pass. Good defending from Pretoria boys. Taking him behind the gain line. Elias again to Baxter's fly half. Inside ball to Jasper, who's taken well. Bit of a telegraph pass there on his inside. Elias, good racking from Pretoria boys, but he's managed to get the ball back. Baxter puts it on the foot, but it's popped up for Pretoria boys, who've lost it again. So they've managed to pick it up with Drostdy, and now they've got men over on the left-hand side if they can get it. Oh, but Morris has taken in a good tackle, and he's knocked the ball forward. So Pretoria boys have got the ball inside their own half. Rivas has been put onto his left foot, kicks it straight down the middle of the park, but there's going to be no advantage. The scrum's going to go the way of Pretoria boys. Morris just had to get that pass away, and I think we could have seen another 5-pointer.
Yeah, I think Pretoria boys are. They're definitely going to be happy to have this scrum because their hands have let them down a bit in this first half. A lot of balls not going to hands, a couple knock-ons here or there, and unfortunately that's just been letting them down. Drostdy have been pouncing on that all around the field and really making them pay, putting them in their own half, and really making them pay and coming away with the points. So
the flatbed looks like it's coming out onto the pitch. One of the Pretoria boys players down. But it's been a good start from Drostdy. They've put Pretoria boys under a lot of pressure, although it seems like the plan from Pretoria boys has been to really contest at the breakdown. But unfortunately, they've just given away a couple of penalties that have just stifled any chance that they've had of getting a bit of momentum going. So they're really going to have to sort of just calm down a little bit maybe at the breakdown and just play with cool heads. Guys like Tane Rivers at 10 and the skipper, Chris du Toit, just need to calm their boys down and just try and grind their way back into the game. Been quite even at scrum time so far today. We've only seen a couple, but it doesn't look like either pack has gained the ascendancy at the breakdown as the replacement player comes onto the field for Pretoria boys. Just have a look here at the try. The little step, beats one, beats two. Morris with a handoff. He's a big man, and he's got a bit of pace for a big man, managing to stretch out, get over the line for the 5-pointer. It was a good run from the lock forward, straightening the line well.
Yeah, definitely. And as I said, 114 kgs is going to take quite a lot to bring him down. Not going to win that going high. So PBHS really needing to tackle low. With that reserve coming on, so did a message from the coaching staff here on the sideline. I think PBHS will definitely want to use this time just to chat, get themselves together, figure out the small things where they're being let down, and just fix those little mistakes.
As we know, it's running time here, so the clock doesn't stop for injuries and breaks of play. So it's 30 minutes running time each half. Yellow cards are actually only 5 minutes long. So the first couple of days we were calling 10-minute yellow cards, but players were only off the field for 5 minutes. I guess it is festival rugby. You don't want the spectacle to be spoiled by ill discipline and players spending too long in the bin. So the cards are only 5 minutes long, and the halves are 30 minutes running time. With such a tight schedule we've got here, we really need to make sure that we start games on time. Just a little goose step from Morris too, getting a bit of momentum forward, and Lamon was unable to make the tackle on him as he just barged over. It was a good run from 22 meters out. He got the ball with a lot to do, beat a couple defenders. Good try, great start for Drostdy. We back on here, unfortunately for Pretoria boys high, and you never want to see it play going off on a stretcher. The scrum is going to be Pretoria boys put in, just short of their own 10-meter line. Lemon feeds the scrum, ball out to Rivers, a bit of a bobble, but he manages to hold on to it and take on the defenders. Taken by a couple defenders from Drostdy behind the gain line. Ball comes to the left. Couple short passes, but that one's adjudged to have gone forward. Unfortunately, for Pretoria boys, they're just not able to get a bit of momentum and get out of their own half.
Yeah, just a little bit scrappy there. Guys not at depth. One or two guys just getting a little bit isolated. They were lucky to clean it all up, and just unfortunate there with a little forward pass, resulting in scrum going Drostdy's way. Great attacking platform for Drostdy. Also, still have a little bit of a blind side to work with here. Everyone seems to be lined up though, off to the open side, and still playing rugby well within PBHS's half.
Lusanio Elias to feed the scrum for Drostdy. Good scrum from both sides. Baxter with a cutout pass into the hands of, that's Monk out wide on the left hand side of the pitch. Takes the ball deep inside the Pretoria boys 22. Pretoria boys managing to get over the ball, and they've won that one back. Good steal on the ground from them. They've managed to give themselves a chance of getting out of jail here. But the big counter shove coming from Drostdy. The penalty goes Drostdy's way. Pretoria boys thought they had won that one back, but Drostdy flooded the breakdown and managed to win the penalty for hands in the ruck.
Drostdy just looking the more clinical of the two sides at the moment. They've come out firing. They're here. They're ready to play. They're PBHS getting the turnover and then just seeming to not know where on earth to go. Can't find their kicker. Bit slow, and Drostdy making them pay.
Drostdy kicked the ball to touch on the 5 metre line of the Pretoria boys' high side of the field. Big line out here for the men from the Boerland. They got a couple big forwards outside Baxter. The ball goes to the middle of the line out. Taken in. CJ van Rensburg is the recipient from that one. Elias to Baxter. Baxter, short ball to Morris, who's met solidly but manages to break the first tackle. Their numbers on the left if they want to use it. The ball comes into the hands of Henrik Nordia, who goes over for the second score for Hartia S Drostdy. Just too many numbers over to the left-hand side of the field. Pretoria boys unable to defend. So once again, just flexing their muscles, showing what they're capable of, using the width of the field, using that blind side to great effect. Pretoria boys unable to get the numbers onto that blind side, and it was just an easy run-in for the second rower.
Yeah, definitely. They had the numbers on the outside there, and quite nice to see the other lock getting a score. So each lock for RTS Drostdy getting over the line today.
Yep. There we go, just too many numbers out to the left-hand side of the field. The Pretoria boys' high defence was just trying to scramble down the blind side, and from 5 metres out, you're not going to stop anyone from that distance. Tricky kick here, out wide for Cohen Jasper. He's kicking into a breeze if you look at those flags blowing towards him. He's kept it low once again, unfortunately a bit too low. He didn't quite have the legs or the direction, unfortunately for him. But RTS Drostdy looking comfortable in the 12-0 lead. Just under 12 minutes left in this first half of this first clash of the day, the final day of the Stannerbank Kearsney Easter Rugby Festival. Tane Rivers is going to get us underway once again. Pretoria boys who really want to look to get this one back here. He's given it some good air. Oh, it's bounced. Drostdy have let it bounce. It's been tapped back onto the Pretoria boys' side. Rivers takes it in. Pretoria boys high with an opportunity here. Lemon goes down the blind side, passes to no one. The ball falls into the hands of Woodbridge. Woodbridge unfortunately knocks it forward. Oh, Pretoria boys just at sixes and sevens on attack. They don't seem to have anyone who's taking command and making the decisions. Lamon didn't really know where he was passing that one, and unfortunately it fell to Woodridge, but he wasn't able to hold on, and another attacking opportunity stifled.
Yeah, it just seems to be a little bit of a lack of communication there between the forwards and the back, or the 9 and the 10, the half-back pairing there, and really they're just not being able to find one another. And then because of the scrappy passes, they don't seem to be going to hand, and they keep losing their ball.
Elias feeds the scrum for Hotier Drostdy. Good pass to Baxter. Baxter with a short pass out to his outside centre, taking in a good tackle. He's about 8 metres short of the halfway line. They're going down the left-hand side once again, but they've knocked it on. It's been hacked forward from Pretoria boys. It's a bit scrappy, but it's a penalty to Hotier Drostdy. Pretoria boys with the opportunity to try and put some pressure on them, but they've gone and given away another penalty in a crucial area for them.
And again, they're just discipline really letting down the Pretoria boys.
Cohen Jasper with another opportunity to get his side out of his half. He takes play up to his own 10-metre line. Difficult kick that, with considering the wind is blowing quite strongly now. It's picked up a little bit in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Drostdy to feed. Greiling Geldenhuis finds his jumper, but it's a free kick to Hotier Drostdy. Not taken from the mark, so they're going to come all the way back. Drostdy with a free kick. Elias looks like he might be tapping this and giving it to some big forward runners. Just taking their time now, getting their breath back. Elias with a quick tap. Passes it up to Bezuidenhout. Bezuidenhout crashes it into contact. Elias once again gives a pass off into the hands of CJ van Rensburg. Elias Baxter standing nice and deep. The grubber through from LaRue has fallen into the hands of Coloros. Lamon into the hands of Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen taken just short of halfway. Lamon down the short side. Good stepping there, trying to flick it out the back door. Unfortunately, not going to hand, but they've managed to clean it up, have Pretoria boys, as they drive forward into the half of Hotier Drostdy. Rivers calling for it, but it's another pick and go. Right up the guts. It's a good drive that. They're making meters, getting up towards the 22. Lamon, Rivers. Rivers with the show and go. Strong tackle from Van Rensburg, the number 6'4". Drostdy. He's managed to dislodge the ball, so the scrum advantage is going to Drostdy. They get the put into the scrum. Rivers taking on a flank forward. Don't know whether that was a correct option from him.
Yeah, look, I think that was much better by the PBHS boys. Really getting stuck into the Drostdy and Drostdy side there, and working with those picks and goes. Really were making yardage, but unfortunately they're just a little knock on. Ball dislodged in the tackle, and back to scrum time. Drostdy ball.
Dylan van Rooyen has run hard for Pretoria boys, the number 4. He's got his head strapped there in the second row. He's run really hard. He's managed to get them a bit of go forward at around the fringes with his pick and goes. He got himself over the gain line a bit earlier and got Pretoria boys on the front foot, but unfortunately they just couldn't use that advantage that they had. Scrum down here to Hotier Drostdy just outside their 22 in the middle of the field. There hasn't really been a side that's dominated the scrum. It's been quite a good contest actually.
Yeah, definitely a great scrum there. Both sides really giving it to one another, and the front rows stepping up and making it a tough one to win your own, or get any angle there. Tight head.
Bit of claret there on the face of one of the PBHS boys. He's down, getting a bit of attention.
Yeah, you know, Nick, if you're not bleeding, then you're not doing it properly. Yeah, so it's good to see a little bit of blood on the rugby field.
The first aiders throughout this festival have been really good. They've been really attentive and on the field at the first sign of an injury. It's been really good to see. That's what you want to see, especially at schoolboy level. You want the welfare of the players to be looked after. They've been really good in getting onto the pitch as quickly as possible and being of assistance to the players, as well as a lot of the teams come with their own sort of fitness trainer, but the first aid team have been really good in getting on there and seeing to the players and making sure that they are in good condition.
Yeah, look, Nick, obviously the player safety is number one. We saw that there with the backboard coming out, putting the boy onto the golf cart, taking him off. Everything is done properly because it's these boys, we're nurturing them to be the next great rugby players of South Africa, as we were talking about the names earlier. And it's boys like that, but their safety is key. And the longevity of their game is also something that we have to look after, and that comes from this medical support here.
We've had some phenomenal rugby players come through this festival, the likes of Chelsea Sharks players, Tiram Tembu, Spuro Sotole. I know Handre Pollard has been here. A lot of the Grey Bloom boys, likes of Paul Jordan, Jan Surfontein. It's a real breeding ground for top rugby players, and it's great to see them go on to high honours. Llewellyn Claassen is all strapped up, and he's ready to take his position at hooker. The scrum to Hartius Drostdy, just outside their 22. Penalty goes the way of Pretoria Boys High. Scrum infringement from Hartius Drostdy. So they've got an opportunity now to Pretoria Boys High School. It looks like number 8, Chris Totoy, the captain, has decided that they're going to try and take the 3 points, get themselves on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Nick, it's also been a very topsy-turvy stop-start first half here with a couple of injuries. So I think quite an intelligent call. There hasn't been much flow and structure of play for the Pretoria boys, so maybe just get yourselves on the board, and then from there start building up, just with a little bit of the points, just to give you a bit of a confidence boost there.
Yeah, Tane Rivers kicked nicely on the first day. Didn't play on the second day, so they'll be pretty reliant on him today to get them on the board and also just get them those points that might keep them in the contest. This should be a pretty straightforward kick for him. About 8 to 10 meters just to the left of the left-hand upright, and about 30 meters out. He does have the wind at his back, which will be a bit of an assistance for him. It's a reasonable strike. Unfortunately, he's just pulled it to the left. Big opportunity for Pretoria boys to get on the board. Unfortunately, they take nothing from that one. Hartius Drostdy still leading 12-0.
Yeah, a little bit of a get out of jail free there for Hartius Drostdy. So it'll be interesting to see with the wind in their faces what they do here, whether they kick it shallow and try and regather ball, or if they try just get it as deep as possible and get out of their own half.
Koen Jasper chips it up, gives him an opportunity to win it back. Great take from CJ van Rensburg as he takes play up to his 10-meter line. Elias Baxter. Baxter with the big skip ball out to Jasper, but he can't hold on to it. It's picked up beautifully by the captain of Pretoria Boys, but they've lost it. So Drostdy have once again on the back foot just outside their 22. Elias, short ball to his forward, running onto it. Gets up just over the advantage line. Elias once again back to Baxter. Baxter looks for some space. It's well read by Collaros. Collaros steps 1, gets away from 2, tries to get the pass away, but he's given it straight back to Drostdy. Taken in the tackle by Tane Rivers. Drostdy managing to get the ball back. They recycle it. Morris with a little goose. Takes on a couple. Takes a few defenders to take him down. Elias comes to the short side. Skip ball out wide. A lot of forwards running out there. Great pass off the deck from Drostdy. Elias once again finds his forward runner. Takes play up to 10-meter line. Baxter now taking the ball nice and deep. That's a good little short pass there from Drostdy, but it's gone forward. Sean Baxter really standing deep on attack, so he's got a lot of time to make his decisions, and invariably he's been making the right ones today.
100%, and it's an absolutely immaculate pass coming from his number 9. Ball finding him every time, and really is something just making, where a good pass is just making the number 10 look really good.
So Pretoria boys have the opportunity to attack with just over 2 minutes left in the first half. They'd really like to get some points on the board before the break. As you said, Jono, it's been very stop-start. So this is an opportunity here for Pretoria boys to get some points. They managed to get the ball back. Rivers got some runners coming off him. Kubeka gives it out wide into the hands of Sashane. Sashane has lost the ball forward, unfortunately. Trying to get his hands through and get the pass out wide to Jordi Coloros. Unfortunately, he's taken in a tackle and he's knocked the ball on. Prime opportunity from Pretoria boys blown.
Yeah, and that's been the story of their first half, I feel. And Nick, often as something starts to go their way, just a subtle thing like hands or losing the ball in the tackle, and it just lets the boys down, and just a shift of momentum going back to the Welsh side there.
It looks like an absolute dead ringer for the Welsh kit, to be honest. Elias to feed the scrum inside their 22. Referee calls for the ball in. Big scrumming in there from Pretoria boys. Have managed to turn it over. But he's in and up is the call from the referee. Did look a little bit illegal though. You would know, you're a front rower.
Yeah, look, I don't think anyone really knows the deep, dark underworld that is the front row. There's a lot that goes on there.
Good pick up from Coloros. Oh, he fakes the kick, but he beats one. Unfortunately, trips, so he's taken the tackle on the 10-meter line. Lemon looking for the short runners. Captain Chris Dutoy taking it in. Another pick and go. Good defending. They've ripped the ball clear. It's a great pass. Morris beats one. He's making meters today. Gives the ball out to Jasper. Ball bounces into space. Picked up. Driving forward. That's Cohen Jasper with the ball up to the 10-meter line. Pick and go from Drostdy. Finding a lot of space at the fringes. Passing a couple passes into CJ van Rensburg in the middle of the field. He's scragged in a tackle behind the gain line. Decision time for Drostdy. Pick and go from the try scorer, Henrik Nordier. Elias goes down the short side once again. Up off to Berto Leroux. PBHS trying to keep the ball in the air, but unable to. Elias with the box kick. He's found a bit of space. It's going to be a contest in the air. Beautiful take from Kubeka. Kubeka, he puts it on the toe, finds a bit of space down into the 22. He's screaming up after this one. That's a great kick from the right winger. Brilliant play there from Pretoria boys. Finding space down the right-hand side. But that is the halftime whistle. Unfortunately, from the men from Pretoria, they weren't able to take advantage of that. They needed the ball to stay in field. So it's halftime here, but in this clash between Harties Drostdy and Pretoria Boys High, Drostdy leading 12 points to 0.
Supper time.
I thought this was a day-night game.
Nah, it's T20.
Where there's a will, there's cricket. Proud sponsor of the Proteas. Standard Bank, moving forward.
Flying away. The photographer just lost his hat. Still happening. Still happening here at the Standard Bank.
Well, welcome back to the halftime of the first game of the 2017 Standard Bank Easter Rugby Festival. It's the final day here at Stotfield at Kearsney College. Been an interesting start to the day. Harties Drostdy leading Pretoria Boys High 12 points to 0. Jono, you mentioned it earlier. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's been very stop-start that first half. Unfortunately, there was quite a serious injury with one of the Pretoria boys players going off on a stretcher. Never want to see that. But besides for that, it has been a bit disjointed. Both sides not able to really take control of this one. But Drostdy do have the lead. 2 tries, both second rowers. First try was a great one from the big second rower, Maurice. And his try was followed up by Heinrich Nordia, who managed to just barge over down the short side. Bit disjointed in the first half. What do you think Pretoria boys need to do in the second one to get themselves back into it, Jono?
Yeah, Nick, I think for Pretoria boys, the vital thing for them is just getting past it to go to hand and securing that ball in contact. They've had a fair bit of momentum swing their way, but unfortunately just not being able to hold on to that ball. And then it just also doesn't help or add to the flow of the game, and it keeps it very stop-start. So for them, I think their coaching staff will be saying, get back to the basics. Our game plan has been working for us when we've had it when we've been able to work it ourselves. But we are our own worst enemy out there on that field. So I think just the small things for them. But yeah, the Drostdy team, they've come out firing. They really are taking it to the PBHS boys. And it's going to be an interesting second half, hopefully with less stop-start and a little bit more flowing rugby. This game could swing either way.
It'll be interesting to see the tactics that Drostdy take on in the second half. They've run the ball a lot throughout the week, but they do have an opportunity to just use the wind. They do have quite a strong breeze at their backs in the second half. With a 12-point buffer, don't know whether they're going to keep the ball in hand as much, maybe kick to the corners, just put the pressure on Pretoria boys, and then capitalize on the mistakes from the Pretoria boys guys, who are going to have to make a concerted effort in the second half to really concentrate at set piece, but also in broken play. They need guys to stand up and take responsibility. Tane Rivers needs to guard them at the breakdown, make sure that he's making the decisions, he's getting the ball when he wants it, his forwards are running off when he wants them to run off. So I think he's got to take a bit of responsibility in the second half. He was a little bit nowhere in the first half, to be fair. He didn't really seem to be making the big calls.
Yeah, definitely. I think communication there is key, and especially from Tane Rivers. He's got to be dictating what happens and where this game goes. He's got to tell us forward runners when he wants them to run. The rest of the time, the ball's coming to him, and he's making some magic with it. But as they break from their huddle, Pretoria boys looking quite pumped and ready to get this game underway.
It is only a 12-point deficit, so it's 2 tries and maybe a penalty or 2 in there, and they've got themselves into the lead. So they must still believe that they can overturn this deficit. For Drostdy, they just need to stay patient. They've got real quality in that back line, and they've looked dangerous with ball in hand. Sean Baxter looks like he's going to get us underway for the start of the second half.
I'm sure
Referee Schupping just checking with the players whether they're ready to go. Baxter gets us underway. He kicks it up towards the 22. Not a strong chase from Drostdy. A little bit of space out onto the left-hand side of the field. It's been knocked forward from Drostdy. PBHS with the ball and advantage. Ball taken to ground just outside the 22. Lammen finds his forward runner, Llewellyn Claassen. He's taken it a big tackle. Drostdy trying to get over the ball. Lammen's digging right in there to get it back. He manages to get it back. Rivers with the kick forward. It's taken a beautiful bounce for him. Waiting for it was Nicholas Wilkinson. Unfortunately, the bounce just evaded him. Pretoria boys getting out of jail, getting up past the halfway line and into Drostdy territory. They're going to want to try and spoil this line out.
Yeah, definitely. I think the wind there playing a bit of a factor for Wilkinson. He thought it would carry a little bit towards him, and the wind just pushing it down, hitting the ground, and then the bounce of the rugby ball taking it out. So great attacking option here for both sides.
Stefan Schwartz to feed the line out. Finds Van Rensburg in the middle. Elias scragged a little bit, so his pass isn't a good one to Baxter. Baxter with the short ball to Berto Leroux. Taking it a good tackle. Pretoria boys trying to get their hands on it. They do. They managed to get their hands on that one. Holding on is the call from referee Schupping. Pretoria boys' opportunity to get the first points of the second half.
Yeah, and we saw them trying to exploit that, just commit numbers and get hands on that ball, being the first arriving players there at that breakdown. And they did that in the first half quite nicely, so it's good to see that they've carried that through. They've seen it as a strength, and they're going to work it here in the second half.
Tane Rivers to line up his second attempt at goal. Kicking into the teeth of the breeze here is the fly half from Pretoria Boys High. This is going to be a tricky kick. He's going to have to make sure that he gives it a good whack. The strike's a good one, but he's just pushed it out to the right. Unfortunately for him and his Pretoria Boys High side, they're not going to come away with anything from this one, as Drostdy have the opportunity to clear their lines of this 22 dropout. Sean Baxter to take it. Another little hammer blow. That's 2 misses from Rivers, unfortunately for him. And Pretoria Boys have nothing to account for it. Ball goes deep. Great take from Woodridge. Flooded the breakdown. Have Drostdy. Looks like they might have rucked straight over this one, but it's not going to be any advantage coming. Penalty. Lemon with a quick tap and go. Takes on a couple defenders. Take it short of the 22. They've got advantage to Pretoria Boys. Drostdy not committing a lot of men to the breakdown, but Maurice is making a mischief of himself there. No advantage. Not 10 meters from the penalty. So Schupping taking play into the 22 of Drostdy. Good passage of play this from Pretoria Boys. They're starting to camp down in the half of Harties Drostdy. They're really going to want to take some points.
Yeah, definitely. They've started playing rugby in the right areas of the field, but they're definitely going to want to come away with points here. They want to convert, and visits to the opponent's 22, they've got to come away with 3 or 7.
Rivers kicks to the corner, about 8 to 10 meters out. The line out to Pretoria Boys. They go to a shortened compliment, taken in. Pop around the short side. Good run from Daniel Goldacre. Another pick and go from Klaas the hooker. Takes play right just short of the line. They over the line. Schupping is a judge. They want to be held up. Pretoria Boys going to get the feet. Good little line out. Little move around the back of the line out, getting the forwards running hard.
Yeah, and just a great show of intent there by the PBHS boys. Really, first 5 minutes of the second half has been a concerted effort by the whole team. They really have shown a lot more intent, and they've come out guns blazing. A lot better than the first half that they showed us.
A little bit of attention to Duan Bredenkamp in jersey number 18 for Harties Drostdy. Looks a little bit groggy. I think he's going to be going off the field. Yeah, he's leaving the field. So there's going to be a change. Coming on in jersey number 3, Andries de Kock. He's a big man. So it's going to be a scrum to Pretoria Boys 5 meters out. A perfect opportunity for them to hit back. They've got a big blind side if they want to use it. It looks like they're lining up for a backline move. Rivers outside him in jersey number 13 is Carl Jacobs. And then outside him is Murray Waldeck in jersey 12.
A great attacking option here for PBHS. Got a blind side to work with, got the open side. So it'll be interesting to see, get a good solid setup.
Ball comes to Rivers. Rivers has a crack. From 5 meters out, he's whacked into the post. Looks like the ball might be held up once again. Great effort from the fly half. Really taking on defenders. Thought he might have got over, but some good defense, and with a little bit of assistance from the pole. Drostdy have got a bit of a reprieve here. Another scrum to Pretoria Boys, but Rivers just showing what he can do on attack.
No, definitely nice and direct there, but there from Rivers. Unfortunately, running at the one and only solid thing on the field. But those poles were really shaking after he hit into them.
I think they're still shaking. Scrum down, Pretoria Boys with the feed, just to the left of the posts. They've looked to go down the blind side. Rivers takes again, takes on Baxter. Good tackle from the fly half. There's advantage. Kubeka, he takes on one defender, beats one, gets up to a couple meters short. Drostdy managing to keep the ball in the air. Kubeka's got it down to ground now for Pretoria Boys. Men calling for it on the open side. Klaasen gets a pop out. It's great defending from Drostdy, keeping the Pretoria boys out. Men screaming for it on the left. They got men over if they can get the ball back. They get the penalty. Klaassen takes it quickly. Crashes it in. Good defending once again from Drostdy. Rivers digging. Gets the ball out. Gets to the left. Rivers with a skip pass. Great ball. Try time for Pretoria Boys High School. Kagiso Woodridge going over. Pardon me, it wasn't Woodridge. Pretoria Boys High School getting their first score. Tumelo Sashani. Good score from the boys from Pretoria, getting themselves right back into this one.
Yeah, great show of play there. Obviously, Drostdy defending like absolute Trojans on their try line. But well done to the Pretoria boys. Great show from Rivers to just throw that ball out wide, and we see it in the replay.
It wasn't Sashani, actually. It was Kagala Motomgolo who managed to get over the big number 5, finding himself ranging out wide. Good skip pass there. Koloros giving the ball off to him. And Motomgolo going over for a good score, getting Pretoria boys right back into this one.
Much better start to the second half here by Pretoria boys. Showing great intent. Tough kick now from the corner.
So Tane Rivers with a difficult kick from wide out on the left. He's given it a good hoof. The wind has held it up just short. So Pretoria boys showing their intent now. 21 minutes to go in this clash. Pretoria boys hitting back. Haltias Drostdy still leading 12 points to 5. But Pretoria boys have been full value for them keeping the ball in hand. And they've used it really nicely. Baxter with the restart. He goes deep. Motogolo, what a take from the try scorer. He's having a run back at the defenders. Beats one. Manages to get the pass away. Pretoria boys taking in a tackle. Just short of the 10-meter line. Big runners crashing it in jersey number 16, Daniel Goldacre. They still manage to hold on as Lemon comes down the blind side. Gets through a half gap. Beats a couple defenders. He's still going. He's got Quebec on his outside. Quebec taking on a few defenders. Throws the ball back on the inside. Unfortunately for Pretoria boys, there was no one on the inside to take the pass. But enterprising play. Lamon finding a great little break there down the short side. Getting himself through a couple tackles. Quebec on his outside just didn't have enough pace to get over in the corner.
Yeah, scintillating stuff there from the Pretoria boys, High boys. And really, absolutely great play. Ref says the pass went backwards and then it was kicked out over the dead ball line.
Sorry, Jono. Lemon just getting himself in a bit of space there, beating the big boys, stepping on the inside, still breaking tackles. Drostdy would have thought that he was going to make the pass a bit earlier, but he just kept on going. Then Cohen Jasper managing to bundle Quebec into touch. The restart takes play up to the halfway line. Pretoria boys high with possession once again. Lamon, Rivers, the charge down from Cohen Jasper. That's Sean Baxter. Actually, unfortunately, he can't pick it up, but it's picked up by LaRue. But he's knocked it on. Tane Rivers maybe just taking a bit too long to get that kick away. He looked up, saw some space, and tried to just put it into that hole. But Sean Baxter was able to get a foot in there and charged it down. Unfortunately for Drostdy, they weren't able to pick up cleanly.
Yeah, now PBHS finding themselves back in their own 22. They spent a lot of time here in the first half. I'm sure they won't want to remain here. They're going to want to get out and they going to want to get back into the Drostdy half.
Difficult position for Pretoria boys here with that wind blowing into them. That's a huge scrum from Drostdy. Good short ball. Waldeck carrying it up to the 22. Pretoria boys with the ball. Lemon. Short pass. Well tackled. Drostdy driving him backwards. Lemon searching for his fly half. Finds Rivers, who goes with a spiral attempt. The ball's bounced free. Taken in at the back by Mons. Ball's come out. It's going to be a line out. The ball looks like a feed's going to go to Harties Drostdy. Unfortunately for Drostdy, Adrian Muntz just being done by the wind, it seemed. Stefan Schwartz to feed the line out. CJ van Rensburg is the target. He takes well. Baxter. Morris running again in the middle of the field, but he's tackled well. Good pass that. Hitting it is Cohen Jasper. He's hitting the line beautifully. Gives the ball out to Muntz. Muntz takes on Kubeka, but he's lost the ball forward. Good tackle from Kubeka to dislodge the ball. It's a knock-on scrum down to Pretoria boys.
Good show of scramble defense there by the PBHS buggers. Drostdy had some real numbers on this near side, and they were looking to exploit them. But well done and good cover defense there by the PBHS boys.
They have the option, Pretoria boys, the line out of the scrum. With the knock going forward and going into touch. They've gone with the line out. Woodridge is the target. He gets up well and takes it. Lemon, little ghosting, but he's scragged in the tackle in his 22. Picked up by Rivers. Pretoria boys on the back foot once again. They pick and go, trying to get a bit of calm to the situation. Lemon looking for a recipient. Pick and go once again. No advantage. The penalty is going to come to Pretoria boys for the high tackle a little bit earlier. Lemon just being scragged, not being able to make a decision. He had too many forwards runners in his way. He was trying to look for his fly half. Unfortunately for him, and he was scragged in a good tackle, but they managed to get the penalty for the high hit.
Hopefully this will just relieve the pressure for the PBHS boys. Taking it just outside their own 22.
The kick from Rivers skews off his boot slightly, so it takes play just past the 22. They've got the feed to the line out. Looks like Woodridge might be the recipient once again. No, it's not. Ball goes into the middle of the line out. Great take from the captain, Leroux. Short ball off. Runners. Drostdy over the ball. They've got their hands on it and they've got advantage. Stolen ball. Morris picks and goes. Takes play into the 22 of Pretoria boys. Screaming out on the left-hand side of the field is Schwartz. He wants it. Cohen Jasper takes the ball down the short side. He's got too much gas. He's going to go over for the score. Brilliant play. Great vision from the fullback. Cutting into the line. Seeing that they've got men over and going over in the corner.
Yeah, and the second time he's done that, just come around at pace and exploited the blind side. Really just finding himself in space and with men outside him. PBHS, it's a tough day at the office for them.
Brilliant play from Cohen Jasper. Looked up, saw some space on the left-hand side of the field. Stefan Schwartz was screaming for it out in the trams on the left, but Cohen Jasper showing way too much toe for the Pretoria boys' defence. It was a desperate tackle in the end from Paul Kubeka, but he was unable to stop him as he went over in the corner for another good score for Harties Drostdy. He's going to try and convert his try. He's just pulled it away to the left of the uprights. But Drostdy once again sounding a big warning shot there for Pretoria boys high, getting into the 22, getting the advantage and getting over. We just look up here, they had all the runners on the left-hand side. Jasper takes the ball from Sean Baxter, hitting it at pace. Just too much gas to get over in the corner. Kubeka with a valiant effort to try and take him into touch, but too much pace from the fullback to get over for a great score. Rivas to get us back underway. His kick goes deep. Good take from Baxter on the front foot. Takes on a defender. Good tackle from Waldeck. Pops it up off the deck. The chip through. Falls straight into the hands of Chris Leroux, the captain. He goes on a run up towards the halfway line. Chris Tutoy, sorry. He's taken in a good tackle. Driven backwards. They still manage to keep the ball, have Pretoria boys. Lemon comes to the short side. Kubeka. He doesn't have a lot of support. He goes, puts a kick through, gets a good bounce, manages to keep it in play, and the ball just takes a good bounce right into touch.
Not a bad kick there by Kubeka at all, into the wind, under immense pressure from the Drostdy boys. Got hit quite hard, not a late tackle, although a word has just come in from the touch judge.
Referee Schupping seems to be calling on the physios to have a word with the scrum off Brandon Lamon. He's going to come from the field. I think he might have taken a bit of a knock in back play after the kick. So, as we saw in previous games, with Lamon off the pitch, and Paul Kubeka might just sneak into the scrum off position, and coming on a jersey number 23 is Tegan Keenan with the white headgear. So Kubeka is going to go into scrum off. Keenan going to come onto the right wing. Drostdy to feed the line out on their 22. Go to the middle, good line out, good take. Short pass into the hands of LaRue. LaRue breaks one tackle, manages to get through another. They're looking down the blind side here. Van Rensburg's pass just goes astray and goes forward. So Pretoria boys have the ball. Kubeka wants. Gives the ball up into the hands of Dylan van Rooyen. Kubeka once again. No, it's a pick and go. But it's stolen. Turnover ball from Hartius Drostdy. The pass and the tackle's not a good one. It's getting a bit loose here. Sean Baxter beats one. Good step from the fly half. Beats another one, but he can't hold on to it. It's turnover once again now. Sashane breaks a couple tackles. His pass doesn't go to hand. Pass is being thrown willy-nilly here. Just not going to hand, unfortunately, for both sides.
Yeah, a couple of passes not going to hand, and also just a couple of the players not looking after that ball properly in the tackle. Ball in the wrong hand, ball in one hand, and unfortunately it's just squirting out here there, and that brings us back to the scrum.
So Pretoria boys got the feed to the scrum just inside the Hartius Drostdy half the field. You'd feel that they really need to score next if they've got any chance of getting back into this one with 11 minutes left in this clash. The first clash of the last day of the 2017 Standard Bank Kearsney Easter Rugby Festival at Startfield at Kearsney College, Boters Hill. Kubeka feeds, good scrum from Drostdy, putting them under pressure. He manages to get the ball out to Rivers. Rivers to Waldeck. Waldeck to his fullback, Sashane. Taken in a tackle on halfway, but he's lost it in contact. But referee Schupping explains that they didn't release the ball when he got to ground. So the penalty goes the way of Pretoria Boys High School on the halfway line. Rivers with a chance to drive play deep into the half of Hartius Drostdy. His kick about 8 meters short of the 22. Pretoria boys with the feed. Claassen to feed the line out. Woodridge has been one of their big go-to men in the line out. And he's the recipient once again. Kubeka, Rivers. They're drifting out here, trying to find some space on the outside. The pass doesn't go to hand. Bit scrappy on the ground there. Looks like it's coming onto the back, the side of Hartius Drostdy. Elias Baxter looking for some short runners to straighten the line. Good step and pass there. Great pass out to Schwartz. Schwartz having a run, giving the ball to Muntz, but it's a good tackle. Unable to get a good pass away was Stefan Schwartz, the hooker. Adrian Muntz having to pick it up around the bootlaces, and unfortunately he knocks it on. But Drostdy finding some cracks in this defense.
Yeah, Stefan Schwartz, just maybe with a little bit too much time there. Running lovely with ball in two hands, and then unfortunately just the pass not being clinical enough and a little knock on there off the bootlaces. But a great show by the Drostdy players to get that ball to go wide and to get it into space.
Pretoria boys feed. Drostdy starting to gain the ascendancy at the scrum now as they put out the Pretoria boys under huge pressure, but the ball squirts out. Taken in the midfield. Rivers taking on one or two. Takes play up to close to the halfway line. Drostdy really competing hard at the breakdown. Oh, pass out of contact. Well played from Pretoria boys. They still got possession. Motomogolo takes it in. Drostdy really putting them under pressure at the breakdown. Slow ball for Kubeka. Finds a runner in the form of Owefulo. On Keegan Fulton in jersey number 11. The pass into the hands Carl Jacobs taking in the tackle. Kubeka with a box kick. He's found some good space here on the near side of the field. Cohen Jasper just seems to have looked up as he tried to pick it up. He just looked up to see where his support players were or where the defenders were, and he's just knocked it on slightly. Pretoria boys back into the half of Drostdy.
Unfortunate there by Cohen Jasper. He's had an absolutely immaculate game so far, and there just the little basic thing, looking up, worrying about the man running at you before securing the ball, and just the unfortunate little knock on there by the big guy.
Thompson into fly half for Pretoria boys. Looks like Dean Rivers has gone into inside centre. Thompson in jersey number 11. Penalty, Pretoria boys going down at the scrum. Jono, do you think that a lot of referees are just guessing when it comes to scrum penalties?
No, I don't think it's necessarily a guess. I think they do get taught as to what to look for. They're looking for elbows heading towards the ground. They're looking for which prop is almost on top. So if he's driving down to the ground, that is obvious. You can see his hips when he starts to scrum in. So the refs, they are told what to look for, and it's not guesswork. And I think especially come scrum time, safety is imperative. Watching the players' necks.
Pretoria boys set up the drive from the take in the middle of the line out. Drostdy seem to have disrupted it as it goes to ground. Kubeka once. Thompson. Short ball, Rivers. Great angle from the man in the 10 jumper. Kubeka once again. Quick ball down the left-hand side. Great pickup from his fullback, Sashane. Pretoria boys unable to get that ball back. Brilliant work on the ground from Cohen Jasper, the fullback getting over the ball, strong body position, winning the penalty for his side.
Dane Rivers running really well there into the space, into the gap with a little fend, and also looking for the offload. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But yeah, great work there by the RTS Drostdy boys. Getting men there, getting men to that breakdown and contesting wonderfully.
So the clearance kick from Drostdy takes place just short of their own 10-metre line. They're still in their own half. They'll be feeling a little bit of pressure here. 6 minutes to go in this one. Schwartz to feed. Finds Van Rensburg in the middle of the line out. Romeo Eckstein is on the field. Popping it out here. Good pass out of the tackle. Mons on the wing here. Takes on the defender, but it's a good tackle. Drostdy getting them into the breakdown. Good short ball. Van Rensburg takes a good catch there. Eckstein in that white headgear on the field. Finds another short runner. Good run from Mostert. Mostert giving the pass out to Morris. He's made a lot of meters today. Gives it off to a scrum off Eckstein. Driving up. Taking a lot of defenders to bring him down. Takes play just short of the 22. Pretoria boys defence. Managing to get back and line up. Drostdy pick and go down the short side in the form of de Kock, taking it over the 22. Eckstein looking for the ball. He wants it. Gets it to Baxter. Baxter, short pass into the hands of Grobelaar. Good cut from the outside centre. Beats one, but he's taken in a tackle inside the 22 in front of the posts. Eckstein wants to go to the left-hand side. Schwartz. Good angle from the hooker. Eckstein once again going to the left. Into the hands of Wilkinson. Wilkinson with a pass out to Morris. Morris taking on defenders. He's out. He's out into touch. Good defending there from Pretoria boys. RTS Drostdy trying to get the big man over for his second. But great defense from Pretoria boys. They're not giving up here.
No, definitely. Well done by Drostdy there to just use Maurice. I mean, he's going to draw in a number of defenders to bring him down. And that just allows them to have a bit of space around the outside.
Good line out there from Pretoria boys, taken in by Chris du Toit. But it's come out onto the side of RTS Drostdy. And the try stands. Stefan Schwartz comes away with the ball and goes over untouched. Really didn't see that coming. Pretoria boys took that ball in and somehow it came out on the Drostdy side. And the man, jersey number 16, Stefan Schwartz, going over for the score.
I think just some intelligent play there by the Drostdy boys, knowing their laws, getting men in there to try to get that ball out of the maul, and then just an intelligent little flick out the backhand to the 16 in space, who just trots over for the try.
Brilliant to see front row scoring tries. Probably the most underappreciated players on the field. Well, let's have another look here. Taken in by Dutoy as they try to set the maul, but it was ripped away by CJ van Rensburg, and he got the little flick out to Stefan Schwartz, who went over in the corner. Great play from the number 6. He's been prominent throughout this game for HTS Drostdy. Cohen Jasper's conversion attempt from out wide stays wide. So you think that Drostdy might have just put this one to bed?
Yeah, definitely, Nick. 2.5 minutes to go, 22-5 the deficit. I really don't think that PBHS can make a comeback in these last 2.5 minutes.
Thompson with the restart. Good take from Drostdy. Morris again. He just wants to carry on running all day. But the ball's popped free and it's been turned over, but it's been turned over illegally. Referee Schupping judging that they've come in the side of that ruck. The ball wasn't out. So unfortunately for PBHS, they're probably going to have to defend for the last couple of minutes of this one.
Yeah, look, RTS Drostdy just putting the ball downfield, getting a little bit of a better attacking option here. Also maybe slow the clock down a bit, work in their favour, and possibly put one more try on them, on the PBHS boys.
Couple big runners in the midfield for HTS Drostdy now off this line out. Stefan Schwartz, a try scorer to feed. Unfortunately, he can't find his jumper, but it's well picked up at the back from the Drostdy boys. CJ van Rensburg going on a run, gives it on the inside to his skipper. Romeo Eckstein goes in for the score. He's over for the try. HTS Drostdy finding some gaps in the defence of Pretoria Boys High School. And Romeo Eckstein going over for a good score. Pretoria Boys unable to pick up the scraps on the back of that line out as Drostdy came away with it off a missed throw. Cohen Jasper's conversion is a good one. HTS Drostdy really running away with this one now. But Pretoria Boys are not going to give up. They take a really quick restart into the hands of De Kock. De Kock well tackled. He lays the ball back. Drostdy managing to get it. Eckstein digs. One off runners now from Drostdy. Loubser takes it up to the 10-meter line. Eckstein wants. Jasper gets. One out pass. Drostdy really looking dangerous here. Great pickup from Grobelaar. PBHS managing to get over the ball there, but Eckstein down the short side, no advantage. The penalty comes to Pretoria Boys holding on at the ruck. There's the call from referee Schupping. So Pretoria Boys have a chance here. One last crack. Time's up on the clock. They do have the opportunity to take the line out, which looks like they're going to do. Thompson with a kick. Unfortunately, he can't kick it out. So it's picked up by Drostdy, who they put it onto the toe. Takes play into the 22 of Pretoria Boys. They've got to go coast to coast here if they're going to score. The skipper takes on one of the defenders. He's taken in a good tackle 5 meters out from his own line. Drostdy over the ball. They can't turn it over. Still in the hands of Pretoria Boys. It's going to be a long run for them if they want to score here. Kubeka. Short ball. Big tackle. No advantage. Offside's a call. So Pretoria Boys do have an opportunity. Kubeka with a quick tap. They got one last crack here. Do Pretoria Boys take play just outside the 22. Coming to the good hands. Sashani with a little goose step. No advantage again. Offside once again against HTS Drostdy. The show and go. Sashani up the middle. Good break from the fullback. Beats a couple defenders. Kubeka comes to the short side. Taken in by Tegan Keenan. Over halfway. There's no one to play scrum off here. Play on, says the referee. Ball picked up by Daniel Goldacre. Kubeka with a box kick, it's charged down, but it's play on. It's come out on the side of Pretoria boys. Taken in by Dylan van Rooyen. Drostdy still competing hard at the breakdown. Taken forward. Motomagolo takes it up. Kubeka, Thompson. Defensive line is a good one. Couple skip passes into the headers of Jordi Coloros. Coloros to Woodridge. Kagiso Woodridge out wide. It's ball's fallen into touch. That's going to be the final whistle. Drostdy take this one 29 points to 5. Great win for the men from the Boerlands. Some standout players. CJ van Rensburg, the number 6 for Drostdy, was really good. Great win from the men from Worcester. Great finish to a good festival for them. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another cracking game coming up. Join us in a bit.